Blessed be everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about magic and how to use magic in difficult times, because it can get a little bit tricky when you're really attached to the end result because you've got to get out really fast, or something's got to happen really fast because you're in dire straits. So I want to talk about that. Before we do though, my name is Sandra. I am the author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. If you want to know more about Wicca, witchcraft, magic and tarot, shadow work, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. If you want to know where to start your witchcraft practice because you really want to walk the witch's path, connect to nature, to connect to yourself, to connect to spirit and do magic, I have a free video called How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice that will give you guidance as to the sorts of things we do and how you can pace yourself along the way to learning those things that we do, because you can't learn it all at once. So there's a link in the description field below this video for you to watch the How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice. Now when it comes to magic, we can use magic to really connect us to ourselves. We can use magic to connect us to the universe, and we can use magic to be able to steer our ship. A lot of quantum science is sort of indicating that we live pretty much in a holographic universe, that we live in an energetic universe, that everything is energy, everything's vibrating. We know from even neuroscience that we're not even seeing what's really there. It's our brain decoding what we're seeing. And so what we're in isn't what we think we're in, essentially. And this is where magic comes in. This is what magicians, witches, shamans have always known, is that we live in an energetic universe and everything is energy. And magic is about working with that energy and that sort of intelligence of energy. And we have to know how to connect with that energy to make the changes that we want to make in our life. Now, when things are going pretty pear-shaped in our life and things are getting difficult, it can be emotionally very, very challenging to do magic even, because the desperation to make the change is there. And when we're so focused on that, we're actually focusing on what we don't want. We're focusing on the scarcity or the fear. Usually it's fear, and it could be fear of anything. It could be fear of scarcity, it could be fear for our safety, it could be fear for our lives. But when fear kicks in, it makes magic very, very difficult, because the way that it works is that we have to be in the state on an emotional level and on a mental level where we are already experiencing what we want to experience, as opposed to what we are reacting to. So how do you do that? It's very, very difficult to do. And the ego is going to probably try and take your attention away from doing it properly. The fear will kick in, and then all of the adrenaline will start going through your body, and it'll be very difficult to really know what it is that you need to do next. Try and take a step back from your situation. The first thing to do is to know what it is that you want. And this is always the important thing with magic. But if you find yourself in a situation you just got to get away from or change in some way, really focus on what's the alternative to that you want. What's the opposite of that? If you need to get out of a housing situation, what sort of home do you want to live in? Who do you want to live with? What sort of people do you want to live with? Even if you don't know anyone, what sort of people do you want to live with? If you want to live with other people, maybe you prefer to live by yourself. What's your ideal environment? Really spend time feeling into what that is and exploring what it is. Use your imagination to explore what you would like as the alternative to the difficult situation that you're experiencing now. You need to have something for the magic to go to in order for the magic to work for you. Once you've discovered what that is and you've got a bit of a clear picture of how you'd like to live, even if it's not absolutely clear as in what it's even going to look like or who the people are exactly. If you have enough information to put yourself in an imaginary situation where you're feeling what it is you want to feel, if you want to feel like safe, or if it's a monetary situation that you're feeling provided for financially, then spend some time in your imagination, being in that scene, and take notice of how that changes your body and what you're feeling in your body. That's your emotions. That's your nervous system changing from being in the state of panic or fear from a difficult situation to being in the state it needs to be in order for the magic to work. That's your nervous system adapting to the new you, the you are going to become as you move further towards your goal of getting out of that living situation, as an example. So spend time with that. A lot of people say to me, I don't know how to feel something I've never experienced before. So when we say, you need to feel like, you're abundant if you're doing something with money, you need to feel prosperous. Well, how do I feel prosperous if I've never felt that before? Or I have trouble, feeling when I'm doing a spell. And that's because you're trying to grab the feeling out of nowhere. It's like, I need to have an emotion, so I'm going to try and feel joy, or I have to have an emotion, so I need to feel prosperous. That's not how it's done, because it won't work doing it that way. How your feeling comes is it comes from your mind, it comes from your imagination, it comes from your visualization, it comes from you putting yourself in the state of your desire already happening around you. You're already in that new location. You're already living that lifestyle, and using your imagination to create that so that your subconscious mind believes it's actually living it, which it will, because it can't tell the difference between what's real and imagined. Just as the universe can't tell the difference between what you want and what you don't want. This is why we have to make the switch from focusing on the fear to focusing on the result you want, because otherwise the universe is going to keep giving you what you fear, because that's what it's hearing. It's hearing, I want more of this because this is what I'm focused on. You want the opposite of that. So the visualization, the imagination of you putting yourself in that really great living condition is going to create an emotion. It might be a very subtle feeling. It probably will be. It's not going to be an overwhelming feeling. It's going to be a subtle feeling of, oh, this is nice, this is good, this is a good thing. It's going to be that kind of feeling, really. And that's the feeling you want. You just want the feeling that comes out of living that result or being in the wish fulfilled. That's what you're after. That's where you get your emotion from. It's not from trying to force an emotion. It's from putting yourself in the scenario of what it is that you want. The emotion will follow. And when your heart and your mind are aligned together, that's when you start to vibrate at the frequency you're wanting to vibrate at, your energy signature, to attract the same vibrational frequencies and the other people and situations who are also vibrating at that frequency. And so that's when magic starts to give you opportunities, ideas, people, whatever you need start to come to you. So that's a very important step to do when you're really in difficult situation. Another thing that magic will do, when you're doing the magic, you've managed to get yourself into that state of being in the wish fulfilled, being in that desire, it will start to give you guidance. You'll start to get ideas. You may start to find information about how you can get out of that situation. This is where the magic starts to actually work, and it starts to work on you. Often it works on you first before it will work on anything else. And when it does work on other people, it's working on other people because what you're seeking is seeking you. So they're already vibrating at a certain frequency. You're vibrating at the same one. You're probably looking for the same thing, which means you're likely to come together with those people who can help you because you're looking for each other on that vibrational level, if that makes sense. You're not actually doing the magic. Magic isn't a power we have. Magic is a skill that we have, that we utilize, and the skill of being able to put ourselves in the wish fulfilled frequently, not just when you do your spell, but thereafter as well, because the whole idea with magic is that you surrender. Once you've done your spell, you surrender the results to the universe. You let it go, because you're not the one doing the magic. You've put your request out there, but you're not the one who brings it to you. You're not the one who does the work. It's the universe and the energies lining up and the vibrations lining up that's doing the work. You're not doing it. So you have to let it go. And you have to trust that it's going to come the way that it's going to come to you. That if you've put yourself in the situation in a way that feels good and it feels right, then it's going to come in a way that's going to feel good and it's going to feel right. Now, magic may need you to level up to other behaviours and ways of being in order to get your end result. If it's a big result, it might require that you change some things about yourself that aren't working at the moment, that are keeping you in your current situation. So sometimes some challenges can happen or opportunities can come to you, but they require that you extend yourself in some way, that you step up in some way. So it might require you to do something that scares you, and so you've got to step into that confident you in order to do it. It can happen that way, because you may find that you can't get to where you want to go unless you make those inner changes within yourself, and the magic can help steer that too. Not many people tell you that about magic, that it can require you to grow and change in order to get your result. And that can often be why magic can be difficult sometimes to actually be successful, because it's requiring you to be the sort of person you need to be to have or do that thing, and you're not quite there yet, and you've got to make those inner changes within yourself and make those challenges in order to get there. So it's a letting go, it is a trust thing, and all you have to do is put yourself in your imagination and allow yourself to experience the feeling of already having what it is that you want. That's all you have to do. And then listen to the guidance along the way to take the actions along the way. Make the phone call, write the email, create the side hustle or whatever it is that you need to do in order to have the magic work for you. And that's how magic works. It's pretty boring, actually. It's not as exciting as it's made out to be in the movies. It happens often in a very natural way. Sometimes it's miraculous. Most of the time it could be normal circumstances and you can't tell the difference, or whether it's magic or whether it's not. So that's all you have to do, is focus on being where you want to be in your imagination, even if the outside world's telling you otherwise. That's really all you have to do, and then listen to the guidance along the way. The universe is going to take care of the rest. When you focus on the next step, so if you get guidance to do the next step, like the guidance to call somebody or the guidance to start a side hustle, then you focus your attention on that. And then maybe you want to focus then your magic on the side hustle, for example, and work towards that. If that's the way the magic's channeling your financial success, for example. It might be doing something like that. So yes, that's the way it works. And it can get you out of the difficult times, but the effort you have to put in is to be consistent with being in the wish fulfilled. That is really most of what you have to do. Do you have to do anything outside of your spell? If you do a spell, the guidance is to then let it go and forget about it, which is great if that's something you can do, but most people can't forget about something, particularly if you're in difficult times and your circumstances haven't changed yet. You've done a spell and nothing's happened. It's just crickets. Then you need to be putting yourself in the state of the wish fulfilled as often as you can. So first thing in the morning when you wake up, imagine you are already in that perfect situation. Before you go to bed at night, imagine that you're in that perfect situation. Hear the sounds, see what you need to see, touch what you need to touch within your imagination. That brings it into reality so that your subconscious mind starts to really believe that it's a real thing, and things do start to line up that way. So there are a few tips on how to use magic when you're going through difficult times. Really no different to how you'd use magic if you're just going through good times. It's just that when you're going through difficult times, you're less likely to stick with using your imagination to be in the wish fulfilled. You're more likely to give up because it's not working out for you. and you don't want that. So if you do want to learn witchcraft with me, I have the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy. It's a 12-month course. It starts you out with getting the skills of a witch, working with energy. We do work with circles and implements like the athame and the cup and the pentacle and the wand, setting up a circle where you're working with the elements, learning about magic, and particularly focusing on candle magic and financial magic and protection magic. Connecting to the seasonal cycles, the lunar cycles, all of that is in the Mystery Witch School 101, and the main thing about that course is it's designed to get you connecting to yourself, connecting to your path, and connecting to your path, nature and self in a way that gives your life meaning and purpose. That's the whole point of it. There's a link in the description field below this video for how you can enroll in that course. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I am Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.